All right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are on this beautiful planet. Welcome to the Inner Circle Live pre-New York session. I'm your host, Benny Allen, along with my awesome partner, Mr. Ryan Carthage. And we're definitely happy and grateful for you all being here with us this morning as we take a look at the technicals and the fundamentals to see what we can take advantage of in this Forex market as we look to close out the week. So without further ado, let's make sure that we turn off any and all distractions, grab a pen and paper, take lots of notes, and let's make sure that we participate and engage. Sorry for the delay, a couple technical difficulties this morning. So if you can hear me loud and clear, do me a huge favor, drop me a 1 in the chat. Let me know you're all ready to go for this morning's session. All right, I see the ones coming in. Good morning, everybody. I appreciate it. So I know we are all good now. All right, so let's exit out of here. Close out real fast. Let me go a little bit in reverse this morning. Go over to the pound Aussie right out the gate here because just got a bullish candlestick that broke the inner trend line here. So this is the pound Aussie 1 hour chart. So we broke here. We got bullish, broke above a previous level of previous daily level at 190.32. So we've got our stochastic in the buy zone. So I'm thinking, right, we have a good chance to continue long, right? So rules are met there. So that is a pound Aussie 1 hour chart. Let me check something real quick. And what I'll do is I will put this in the Discord. So everybody give me 1 second. And let me get this set up in there. But this is pound Aussie 1 hour chart. Chart, and that's a potential buy. What's my stop loss on this? 189.63. 89.63. I've got TP1 at 190.96. 6. And got a TP2 at 190, 127. 27. Okay. So let me get this uploaded. And there we go. All right. All right. So there we are. So out the gate this morning on a Friday. Let's see how that plays out. So wanted to work in reverse a little bit just to get that out there for everybody. Let me get everybody set up here who just joined us. I think we're all set. Okay, so again, pound Aussie 1 hour chart, little 80-20 setup there for us this morning. So let's go over, take a look at the trading economics. Japan Q3 GDP shrinks more than initially anticipated. And we see here Japanese economy shrank 0.7% Q over Q in the third quarter 2023 compared to a flash figure of 0.5% contraction after a downwardly revised 0.9% growth in Q2. It was the first GDP contraction since quarter 3 of 2022 amid elevated cost pressure and mounting global headwinds. There were declines in both private consumption and capital spending, while net trade was also a drag on the GDP, right? But despite that, we know that we've got some yen strength, right? As we can see here, yen extends rally on policy shifts, right? Fundamentals, right? That's going to take hold over what's going on with that Q3 GDP number. We may see a little bit of that play out next week, but as of right now, right, that yen gains some strength as Ryan has been following the yen situation very closely and has been right on the money and anticipating a big move, and that's exactly what we got. We see oil heads for a sharp weekly drop. Okay, so just a few things from this morning. Now, going over to Forex Factory, okay, Friday, December 8th, we know that we have the U.S. non-farm payroll employment data. We also had the preliminary University of Michigan consumer sentiment report coming out, and also U of M inflation expectations. And then later on tonight, after the markets close here in the U.S., we've got the CPI data coming out year over year for China. So other than that, right, that is the bulk of the day. What's going to happen at 8:30 and at 10 o'clock today here in the United States. So we'll see if we get any volatility from the non-farm payroll. We know that that could be a big mover, especially if things come in well above or well below what is forecasted. So they're expecting 184,000. So we will see what happens there. Any questions on the fundamentals? Ryan, good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, bro. I'm doing well, man. How about yourself?
Doing pretty good. It's Friday.
Yes, sir. Been a good week, and looking forward to wrap it up with this last data.
For sure. For sure. So we'll see if it's a market mover. We know sometimes it can be, and sometimes it can be a complete dud. So we shall see. Anything new on the yen front, or anything out there that you been keeping your eye on fundamentally?
Nope. Just looking at retracements on that move from yesterday, and the data kind of goes in line with that. So, but nothing new yet.
All right, all right. So let's jump over and take a look at again, for those of you who just joined us, right? We spotted an 80-20 on a pound Aussie. Bullish, right? Nice bullish engulfing candlestick, broke the inner trend line back above that daily level at 190.32. And we're going to see if that can maintain this momentum to the upside. So that's the pound Aussie 1 hour chart. You've probably got some things playing out. Yep, on your lower time frames too. That's moving. So there, it's playing out on the 30. We got some things falling in line there. Decent push up on the 30, and then on the 15 as well. So you've got it on multiple time frames playing out this morning. So let's see, right? Let's see if it can maintain its momentum and head to the target like we needed to. All right, so that's that pound Aussie. You already got a decent reaction. All right, so if you're late on it, right, you can look for pullbacks and continuations, right, on that, right? Pullbacks and continuations. Okay, so let's see how that continues to play out. Moving back up to the DXY. So we come here, we take a look at the daily, right? So we got a strong move down yesterday, and now we're looking bullish this morning, but our daily stochastic is overbought, right? So we're retesting that huge bearish candle that we had yesterday, right? So pushing up to start the day. We'll see what happens when the rest of the market opens this morning. And like Ryan had pointed out, look what happened, right? We got a huge pullback, 80-20 swing off the DXY, and then look how we collapsed, right? We got around that 50% level, got back, right? So that weekly level held, right? It held. So now what this is looking like is a possibility of a pullback and then a continuation down eventually on the dollar. So overall, we're still structured to the downside on the DXY. Any questions there?
No,
All right.
sir.
Okay. So we are going to jump into the charts. So just want to review, and then we'll take a look at any pairs that you guys had for this morning. So just we were looking at that Swissy yen. It had finally broke down on that 4 hour 80-20. We posted it in the Discord, but you can see, look at the momentum that it continued to gain to the downside yesterday. So we came all the way down through TP2, right? So off your highs in that zone, that total move all the way down through TP2 was over 800 pips, everybody. Huge move. 100 pips, right? Yes. On the investing doctor website. Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I know appreciate you updating us on that, because I haven't looked at it from there in a while. I look at it just here for the levels. But investing.com, Bloomberg has one as well, has a the dollar index as well on Bloomberg too. So, but everybody should check that out though. Investing.com. That's an awesome site that we like to use, right? Checking out market sentiment, awesome articles, you know, really good writing on investing.com. So if you're into the financial markets like we are, right, and you like to read up on things, investing.com is a great site. And definitely check out that DXY that .net is talking about. So appreciate the nugget, .net, for sure. So that is the Swiss yen. The dollar yen continued to collapse as well. So here is the 1 hour play. See, we almost got TP2, right? But as far as that 649 pip take profit, we got it, right? So that's a pretty good risk to reward on that move on that 80-20. All right. Anybody hold that till TP1? Were you guys trading in and out of it, or give me some feedback on that?
I had one of my accounts that I let it run on. And I had another one that got my stop loss was set different. I mean, my take profit was set a little higher, so it got taken off early. But one of them did run at that TP1 level.
Awesome. So that's good work. Good work, right? If you guys, you took it, TP hit, I think. Oh, you have to go check. Okay. So that's good. That is good. So that is the dollar yen. I want to check it on this Aussie yen because it's let's see. It's had a play on that. Yep. So that's made an excellent ABCD wave to TP1 now on that Aussie yen. So anytime you get that huge impulsive move to the downside, right? It's always a possibility it's going to take a percentage of it back. And that's exactly what it's doing. So you can see here on a 1 hour where it pushed down, tested that 93.74 level. And then we've got a nice ABCD wave moving back. Right? Right? A, B, C, D, right? So we eventually, right? We've got a 61.8 pullback. We're eventually looking for that D extension to be hit, but we're going to run into TP1 before that D extension. So won't be greedy there. All right. So that's the Aussie yen on an upward swing. So that's another 80-20 playing out there on the chart. Okay. Same move over and over again, different pair, doesn't matter. Asset class, doesn't matter. All right. TP1 thing. Yep. TP2 hit my buy activated. Okay. All right. Appreciate it. Any questions on that Aussie yen move? Yeah, let's take a look at that NZDJPY. See what we got going there. Okay. I'm not sure if I played that one or did anything with that.
That one missed my level.
Did it?
Yep.
Made the exact same move. Let me run over this. Thanks, Benit. Yeah, I didn't play this one though. Took my eyes off of it, right? That one almost wicked out at that extension, but it's doing the same thing. right? Deeper move. It's amazing how similar these pairs move. It's amazing. So that's making an ABCD wave too. So we expect a 127 there. So right into that 89.22 level, and then back to that 382. All right. It's this one. So remember that, right? Oftentimes, right, that Aussie and that New Zealand flowing the same. Right? Could have doubled up on that. But depending on your broker, you might have got stopped out. Depending if you limit it in, depending on the spread from your broker, you might have got stopped out on that. If your stop is at the D extension, it all depends. Maybe not if you're waiting on a trend line break and things like that. But that one was pretty close. So that's the NZD JPY. Let's see if we get that 382 to get hit. Any questions on the NZD JPY? All right. Aussie NZD. This is our move yesterday that we talked about doing the live session. And that has now, right? So we posted in the Discord, it hit TP1 last night, but that has now hit TP2, right? So we were talking about it yesterday, right around the trend line break. And then we continued long, right? So the ABCD waves playing out. That's a beautiful swing there. Beautiful swing. Price staying above that trend line that we drew yesterday during our pre-New York session. So that's made quite the move off that level, right? So even if you got involved off of that trend line break, right, somewhere around that area, almost 30 pips there, TP2 would have got you, 50 pips or so, right? But the entire move, right, has been 86 pips off of the 80-20 level. Okay. And that's the whole point in showing up to these sessions, right? Seeing it over and over and over again. Okay, the visual representation of what's occurring in the market over and over, right? The Forex market, pattern-driven market. Okay, and this is the one pattern that shows up consistently, right? Is that reversal off the lows or off the highs, depending on the direction. So beautiful move. That one happened fast too, especially for the Aussie NZD. Any questions on that?
Not questions, but just on the sub fib, you got a retracement opportunity there. That's showing up on the
For
1 hour
sure.
too.
For sure. We got a 1 hour setup.
Yeah, same
Okay,
sub fib to the upside.
Oh yeah, right. So look at that. 1 hour stochastic back in the sell zone. We're at the 80-20 level here. Okay, so let's do it up. Thanks, Ryan. Hey,
No doubt.
that's looking nice. That's looking nice. Dropping Ryan some sevens in the chat for that. I'm looking at the move that's already played out. Ryan is on to the next one. Right? That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Okay, so look, see what happens here. Okay, draw up the play, run the play over and over and over again. Okay, see what happens. Okay. Setup looks like this is already turned over to form a high. Okay, see if we can get there. Get that to turn over. So TP1. It's our TP2. It's like that. See if we can get the bears to step in. Take over from here. Any questions on that setup? Draw it up the same way, a little bit shy of that level. Entry level, but that's okay. All right. So we got 107.66, 748, 18 pips, a little more than that because they're where it's at now, but we'll draw it up just like always. 18 pips there. And of course, this is how we just draw it up, right? However you choose to enter the market, right? Additional confirmation, things like that. It's totally up to you. Tips there. So let's see how that plays out. See how that plays out. Appreciate it, Ryan. That is looking pretty decent. Making money on the way up and the way down based on the zones that we trade. Right. So see if we can continue that momentum to the downside. That's that. All right. So just want to take a look at those few things. So we'll give you guys a minute or so. Go ahead and drop in the chat any pairs that you're looking at. And we'll be more than happy to go over and review them. Anything you got your eyes on, Ryan?
No, not right now. Waiting on this data to come out and waiting on these retracements on these yens to do what they're doing. I guess the Euro NZD.
Yeah, it's still
It's still
bouncing
lingering
around,
in that
right?
zone. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm watching.
yeah.
I got a small position in on that one.
Me too.
I'm kind of skeptical though, but we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, because that euro's taking a beating, but
Heck yeah.
it has refused to give up. I took a quick look at that this morning. I'm like, it's still bouncing around, hadn't hit the stop loss yet. So uh here's that goal from the daily, right? And how .net had broken down yesterday for us. And so we've got a low that's formed at that support level. But I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a reaction coming out of non-farm on that one. So that can go either way, but from a technical perspective, right on the money, down there with that level. So beautiful. So we'll see if it can hold support. But we know, right? We always say there's no technical structure or idea that'll ever stand in the way of a strong fundamental occurrence. So we'll see what happens when non-farm payroll hits. But for right now, good. Joyce said you caught that CAD J long at 105.36. We'll take a look at that. So that's gold from the daily to 4. We got a new, let me see. We got going on here. And some auto stuff that's popped up. What's what? So there we are. So it pushed up and now it's kind of just moving sideways, which is expected just ahead of non-farm. So that's gold, still kind of hovering in that area, but we have formed an official low. So let's see if it holds. All right. Taking a look at, let's take a look at that CAD yen. Okay, so we know we got from the daily, we talked about it yesterday, how we broke down out of that range. And we went, look how it stalled, right? Right back at that level again, at 104.18 level. So that's 1, 2, 3 times now on this CAD yen. So let's move on down through the charts. This is how I had it on the 15. That one continued down yesterday. So we didn't get anything there, right? So the way I had it drawn up was saying, hey, if I can get a further push down into the zone and get a reaction, but it just kept moving down, right? Just kept moving down. But eventually, right, we got a new AB boundary. And now it's reversed. So I could get this out of here because that one didn't really come to fruition. It just kept running. Didn't give any evidence at that level, that 80-20 level, that it wanted to U-turn. Right? And we know that yen was pretty impulsive, pretty strong. So it just continued to go. So no real confirmation to take that trade at that level once we got it. But I tell you what, glad you stuck to the rules and didn't take it when it was pushing above that 106.52 level, right? Because you would have took a stop out there. So that one was a no-go. And then we got the U-turn going on now. So let me that's pretty high in the zone. Joy, you say you got long at 105.36. So let me look at that on the 15. 105.36.
I'm sorry, 105,536. I'm sorry. I can't see.
105.536. So right around there, right around that area. Okay. So you think it's ready to continue longer? You think this is gonna make it? It's gonna drive down from here.
What happened was that was an order that I had in that I forgot and I didn't delete. And I was like, well, it's still long. And I put my stop and profit for my 20 cents and I'm gonna let it go.
I got you. All right. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that, right? So I don't know if that's done making this run to the downside if it wants to retest the lows, right? So we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it continues to make. We'll see what happens when it comes into this level here. Right. So once we swing into this zone, right, we come down, retest these levels right here. See if we get a bounce or if it's going to break that and continue down, right? So we shall see. But that was a great play that you made, in the short term. Let's see if it wants to continue its move down. So that's where we are on that CAD. Yeah, just right. Fundamentally, huge move, right? That occurred. You can see how it pressed, then it reversed, right? We saw that. We're seeing that across the board, with the yen crosses, as the market looks to take back some of what it gained. I don't know. Right? Look at that.
And then I was also looking at oil. I noticed that oil, had like a nice little rally. So I'm like, and that's the other reason why I went ahead and left it as well.
Mm-hmm. No, that can go either way right now. So like you said, you're moving your stuff into profit, so you're good. Just let it run. All right. So looking at the higher time frame, that 4 hour, it held. That AB boundary held. You got a stochastic in the buy zone. Let it run. Let it run until it, till it takes you out. All right, that's the CAD yen. Things can be crazy after those huge moves like that. For the days that follow, it could be a little bit wild. So let's see what happens. All right. What other pairs do we have? light out here today. You guys are like me. I'm kind of all good after those yens did what they needed to do. Take a look at that Euro NZD that Ryan was talking about. Then we'll take a look at some dollar pairs just ahead of non-farm, and then we'll wrap it up as the market is going to be on pause until those numbers come out. So this is our 4-hour play. It is doing the dance, right? It is doing the dance. Okay. So gotta move it through that lowest point there. So it's trying to make the U-turn. Let's see what kind of impact non-farm has on this pair. But if it U-turns from here and gets long, that's a big move for us. So it's still in play. If it doesn't hit the stop, I'm still involved. Right? Not gonna jump out prematurely. I already know, right? We win the war before it starts. I already know what I'm comfortable with losing before I ever take a trade. So, right, not hard to just let that run. Okay. Let the market do what it's going to do. So that's the Euro NZD. We're still waiting to see if that correction is going to play out. I hope that it does. Any questions on the Euro NZD?
Nope.
No. All right. That's that. While we're taking a look at this, let's take a look at this Euro GBP because we drew that one up too earlier in the week. I think they're all just trying to make their mind up right now. I don't think it's done too much. Nope. Still just ranging. Didn't get stopped out yet, but we're still just ranging. So these Euros, which when we drew them up, we said that, right? During the session, like a little bit concerned about these because of the negative fundamental data coming out of the Eurozone. So it's kind of, it's not a surprise, right? We're moving to the side, but we played the zone anyway. So still hovering, still ranging. And at some point, we'll get a breakout. All right. So that's the Euro GBP. Taking a look at the Euro dollar. This was the 1-hour move, right, that we got. And now we're just pausing, right? Just ahead of the data. So it can go either way, depending on how this report plays out, but it's always good to take a look at it prior to the data coming out. So that was a big 80-20 move to the downside there. And then Joy on the 15, right? We got a good reaction too. Good reaction. Okay. Joy called it out, saw the swing. We almost, Joy, did you adjust your stop on that, or did you hold? Are you still holding that? Because that got close to that TP1.
I ain't gonna lie. I ain't look at my charts last night, and I'm trying to
Okay.
hurry up and look at them now.
That's all good. That's like 7 pips away from the take profit and then it collapsed. So that can go either way with the data that's coming out at 8:30. So man. So hopefully, if you guys were involved in that, you had the opportunity to move your stop up a bit once that momentum, took hold to the upside. But man, that came within 7 pips of that TP1 and then it moved down. And now it's going to range into that information comes out today. So that's the Euro USD. Any questions on that? Nope. All right. So let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Take a look at the rest of the dollar pairs as well. So, all right, we'll come in and take a look at the daily. Okay. And hey, okay. That's a good level right there, right? And we're holding. Higher highs and higher lows. Okay. Take a look at what's going on. Okay. We consolidated a little bit. And look. Okay. So we'll see if that support holds. We got a stochastic that's approaching that buy zone, pretty much there, where we got the U-turn last time, the shift in momentum. Right, if you look straight across here. Okay. So things are lining up for price to continue long on the Aussie dollar, but it's a big fundamental day today. So let's see what happens on that. Okay. If it's going to continue to drive higher. Okay. So, we have a swing high here. Right there. All right. So if we break through that 66.18 as a result of the news, then we're just going to continue to look for higher highs and higher lows. Right. Deploy those fibs. We'll continue to look, right, to deploy those fibs in the upward direction. Here's our 80-20 that played out. We got a 50% pullback. We hit weekly support at 65.221. And so this now, right, becomes the potential for continued long opportunities like we're seeing. See? It's made its correction. Now it's trying to U-turn. So let's see if the data supports a continued move to the upside on that. Take this out like that. And we are on the other side of that trend line. Then we could do anything, right? We can run some sub fibs off of that. It will happen. So we would love for price to be in a position like this, right? In our buy zone. So we could potentially look to get long. Okay. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with the news. All right. Any questions on that Aussie dollar? That's the direction that it's going right now. All right.
No,
Appreciate it. Jeremy, what's going on?
I'm good, Benny. How are you?
Pretty good, man. Doing pretty good.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. All right. So let's take a look at the pound dollar. Okay. So look, this one too. Okay. Just ahead of the data. Let's see what happens. Okay. Okay. Got a little bit of a check back there. Now we're here. Do we hold? Okay. It's a great place to be. Okay. Right at structure. Just ahead of the report. So let's see if that holds. Okay. Let me run a fib right to the upside here. See what we've got. Okay. So let's see what happens. See what happens. That's from the daily, right? We've been moving up. Take a look at our 4-hour. We just run a normal fib. So we'll have a clean chart there. So we've got a 50% at key structure. Stochastic's not aligning though, right? But you can see where it's holding here. Yeah, because that went flat. So play that like that. Okay. All right. Don't try to time the non-farm payroll. Just let it happen. Let the market move. and then we'll figure things out after that, right? Because we know you can get whipsawed. There's multiple reports that come out, so it may jump 75 pips, then drop 150 pips, right? We know how these days can go. But right now, that's what we're looking like on the pound dollar. Any questions?
No.
No, sir.
Non-farm equals the pricing, right? I know, right? So many people get hung up on that non-farm payroll trying to time it, I guess. And you get, I mean, it's just like a casino, right? You get lucky. And that's usually when everybody posts screenshots, right? So NZD USD. Okay. Come in and take a look. Where are we? We have a low here yet. Okay. We don't have a low here, but you can see how kind of similar, right? Market's making those higher highs and higher lows. Okay. Stalling in this zone. So let's see what happens. So we've lately, right? We've had price moving up. Okay. But this one here is kind of, you know, in no man's land based on what we like to trade. Okay. We'll pull that off, right? I don't want to buy from here. It's not my level. I need to see price move down into the buy zone, into that green zone, right? Gives us a better risk to reward ratio. I can put my stop below that A if I want, right? So this here is just moving sideways ahead of the data. We need this to move into a better position. Okay. So way back when, before I had rules and I was trying to figure everything out, you know, you may try to make a play out of these type of scenarios and these type of setups, try to make sense of it all, right? But when you have rules that say, hey, if I'm trading with the trend, and for example, my bias is bullish on this NZD USD because the dollar has been taking a nosedive, then I need to wait for that to come into my zone, right? And in my trade plan, you say, hey, I'd like to trade primarily 61.8, 786 levels when I'm trading with the trend. So for me to take this trade, okay, I need for price to move down. Okay. Now we always talk about, different scenarios you can, and exceptions that you could build out in your trade plan. For example, you may say, hey, if I get price, if I get structure, so say I had a daily level, at my 382, like so, that fell in line with my 382 and price double bottomed. It gave me a price action pattern, a classic price action pattern, double bottom. Then I may say, hey, if I see that at the 382 level and it's hitting higher time frame structure, right? So daily support in this example, then if price pushes down and I see where price does something like this, okay, fails to break out, comes back, double bottoms at this level, okay, and it forms a low. Well, at that point in time, you may have it in your trade plan and say, if I get that scenario, right, if then, right, I'll wait for a trend line break for confirmation. I'll wait for a trend line break at that level. And you may say, I'll wait for my stochastic to be in the right position. And if I get that break, then I'll trade off that 382, right? Totally up to you. Okay. But primarily, outside of, that type of circumstance, if I'm trading with the trend, I want price to pull back. Okay? So if it doesn't take out the A, it has no choice but to go my way. Right? As my mentor used to say all the time. Okay. I want that deep correction. Okay. Better value. Okay. So having the rules, okay, eliminates a lot of the noise. Right. So say my chart that I like to trade on. So say I say, okay, I'm gonna mark my monthly, my weekly, my daily support and resistance, and then I'm gonna trade off my 4-hour chart because I like to swing trade and I want to trade with the trend. Well, this chart becomes easy. This is how we can get through so many charts, because based on the rules that I just went over, everybody, is this set up right now as it is? Are we in a position to buy based on the rules that I just set forth? Yes or no?
No.
Right. So go to the next chart. Right. Don't try to stare at it. Don't try to tilt your laptop in a different angle to try to say, oh, it might be something there. It's not there. Right? There's nothing there. So you need to wait if those are your rules. All right, everybody follow me on that. Drop me a 1. That's very important. Enjoy. That's very important. Okay. So we're on to the next chart. Like, all right, NCD, USD. I have a bullish bias. It's not in my sweet spot to trade with the trend. I'm out. That's it. Okay. So when you go through these, the weekly ritual and things like that, you may go through all your pairs. You may only have 4 or 5 pairs to start the week that are in a position that that you feel comfortable trading based on your trade plan and your rules. All right, so that's that. Don't overcomplicate it. Okay. All right. Now, let's move on. To the Euro USD, pound dollar. Want to take a look at the dollar CAD. See where we are. Stochastic in the buy zone on the daily. Got a nice reaction off that level. Can go either way, right? These two are not the strongest in the bunch right now. Okay. Here's our 1 hour. Right? So we're coming off that 118. Okay. And it's the same thing, right? If we're counter trend trading, right? These 80-20 setups and playing these reversals. If your rules say that you trade at that 127, trade at the 127, right? If you don't have anything built out in your trade plan to trade at that 118, you have to let it go. Okay? You have to be stubborn when it comes to your money. All right? Let it go. If you don't have anything in there where, hey, I'll take a 1/4% at the 118. If it drops to the 127, I'll add another 1/4% or 0.5%, whatever. If you don't have those rules, and the only rule you have is say, if I trade at 80-20, I trade at a 127, then it is what it is. So that means I'm not taking that trade. Right? Same thing here. Okay. If I say, man, this dollar is overall bearish, I'm trading with the trend. Well, what are my levels? Well, if my trade plan says I need to trade at a 61.8, 786, stop above the A, bang, then I need to wait for this price to climb. So when I turn on my 4-hour chart, based on where I am now, no trade. But if I come back and that trade's gone up into my zone, I'm looking to get short. If my directional bias at the time is bearish. This framework really solidifies the fact that the market only moves three ways: up, down, and sideways. That's it. Okay? So if you're looking to short the dollar CAD and you use a 4-hour chart, it's not in your zone to short it yet. Meaning that if this trade takes off from here and pushes to the D extension, then it is what it is. Catch them on the next one. All right. Dollar Swissy. See what we've got going on. Okay. All types of stuff. It's time for me to redraw my charts this weekend. All right. Been focusing on a lot of those 80-20s, but I need to redraw all of my levels. Okay. Because we have a swing low here. Okay. Moving sideways ahead of the data. Price action makes sense. Bottom fell out of the DXY. We've been moving down. Okay. Down. We're going to put some fibs on, right? Come over. Let's run them. Let's scan the fibs here. Okay. Came up around the 50% level and we collapsed. Right? We collapsed. Cleaning up a bit off the high here. There. Clear all those sub fibs. So this has been moving down. Okay. We came into support, 86.63. We're getting a little bit of a bounce, but for the most part, this is bearish when we look at this wave. So when we look through all the noise, right, we still A, B, C, our highest point within the AB boundary, and this has been moving down. Okay. Longer term swing. Now, here we are. Previous fib missed. No reaction. Look, it just went straight down. So this needs to get adjusted. All right. So that was drawn up off of the last one. We didn't get anything. B boundary, shot straight down. Look what happened when we got into the 127 zone. Nothing. Just went straight to the D. Okay. The dollar's been super bearish. Okay. But now, right, oftentimes when that occurs, market likes to make up for it. So oftentimes you'll see where price will make a solid correction on that next fib. So if it misses on one fib, the next one coming up, oftentimes you'll get that correction either straight off the B boundary for a huge swing or our traditional 80-20. So this is in an area for 80-20, but it's a choppy mess, and it's going to continue to be that way with non-farm payroll looming, okay, at 8:30. So if, okay, you say, you know what, I'm not taking that, I'm bearish on the dollar. Fundamentally, the bears are out on the DXY, right? So you may say, okay, if I get that push up in that zone, I'm going short. The beauty in what we do is the simplistic approach. It's simple, right? The major pattern that we trade is an ABCD wave, right? It's an ABCD wave, okay? The B to C off the 80-20, C to D with the trend, okay? So if we pull back, look, you've got a weekly level of structure. You love to see that, right? If you're trading with the trend. So if you get a high price, right around your 61.8 level, you've got a prior weekly level there. Okay, you've got a prior weekly level. So high alert once price gets up to this level. That's what it wants to do. And if you're trading with the trend, if you need additional confirmation at that point, right, draw your trend line, use your cloud, look at your stochastic, look for price to break down. Same stuff over and over again. Any questions over what we covered this morning? Just wanted to go back and make sure we do a review. Jeremy, that I don't know. I've been with him for so long. I haven't looked at that for a while. I don't know. Ryan, you know anything about Smart Trader changing pricing policy or anything?
No, I'm with you. I haven't haven't looked at that page in a while.
Yeah, me either. We'll have to
Let's
check
see.
into that, Jeremy.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's for the year. Let's see. No, yearly billing $299 for the prime. That's what mine has been anyway.
For the year?
For the year, yeah, $299.
Okay.
On the month,
I think I have the pro package.
yeah, yeah.
But
So
you
that's
know
what
what
I
though?
that's
I
what
have to
mine is.
check, man, because I haven't even seen. I wonder if am I like a lifetime
Yeah,
smart trader guy now?
So you
yeah,
probably are, bro. Was it Jeremy?
because yeah, I am on the prime, and initially it used to be 4 sheets, sorry, 6 sheets per page, but I think they make it four
Oh,
sheets now,
Oh, I see what you're saying.
and it's affecting my savings. When I mark up my chart, it doesn't save, so I don't know. Yeah.
yeah, we had to reach out to him.
Um,
I'm gonna reach out to him for that to see if that's what they've done, adjusted the amount of charts you can have per pair.
um, you were able to have six on yours, Jeremy?
Yeah, I have access to six, but it doesn't save my
Yeah,
markups.
yeah, I get what he's
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
Interesting.
You have to delete your charts. Do you have to delete them and start all over so they can update? So what happens is when we keep them charts update, and if you don't leave your computer on for the update, you'll keep the archive charts. So you got to delete them all and start over.
Oh, when they make those, because they made I think they made like 2 or 3 updates lately, right, to the latest version.
About 4.
Oh, it's been 4. Yeah, they're
Yes.
always doing patchwork and stuff like that. Yeah, because I've seen a couple of them flash, new release update a couple times. So checking. Good job on that, right? Good teamwork, figuring that out. I didn't even think about that, Joy. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So check it out. All right, Ryan. Anything to add before we wrap things up on this beautiful Friday morning?
Great session, bro. The only thing is, the people like you guys know, we built this community strategically, right? The goal is to create an environment that is conducive, but also encourages growth and expansion and moving outside of your comfort zone. But we also created this community as an opportunity to compress the learning curve for everybody else. So the things that Benny went over today when talking about the trading plan and the caveats and not taking trades here and not stepping outside the trading plan, those are lessons that we've learned over almost 10 years each in the space, right? And so those are little nuggets and opportunities to compress the learning curve so that you don't have to go through the same experience. Yeah, you're still going to have struggles. Yeah, you're still going to have hurdles that you have to overcome. However, those specific ones you won't have to experience, right? So this environment to cultivate that growth and to encourage the growth and expansion also to compress the learning curve and the time frame of learning and advancing in the space. That's why we built this community. So we appreciate you guys. We appreciate your engagement. We appreciate you guys showing up day after day after day, continuing to learn, continuing to grow, and continuing to challenge us to also be better. So we appreciate you.
All right. Appreciate it, Ryan. That's a great way to end the session. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday. We'll see you Saturday, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the weekly ritual.